about this.
Well, the whole thing is you can't take something supernatural and then say that apply that to a natural cause.
Yes, you
and then
can.
Claim, how?
It's a new idea.
How?
It's a new idea.
Explain how.
I use science unified field theory.
No, don't
Science.
say that you use science. Explain the science that you're using to do it. Don't say I'm going to relegate it to science. Tell us the science you're actually using. Where's
Okay,
the
one
evidence?
of the.
Because I think it's bullshit. But that's my opinion.
Okay. And I claim your books.
Well,
All right, no problem. All right, what's the evidence?
What's the evidence? I'm
Okay, define matter.
Define matter.
Yeah. You can't do it.
No,
You're
matter.
Earthlings. You can't do it.
What?
You can't do it.
Earthlings.
How does that prove your point, though?
Because you were given this information 1,000 years ago.
What do you mean 1,000 years ago?
The definition of matter.
The definition
And
of matter.
you
Well,
didn't
this-
accept it. And I discovered it in 1976 by myself and all.
so why didn't you win the Nobel Prize?
Because they're stupid. It's always
They're
like
stupid, so it's them. But if you have evidence, then you can prove it.
How long did it, Copernicus, you heard of Copernicus?
Right.
Yes.
How long did it take the scientific community, the world, to agree with it?
So you're him, is what you're saying. You're
Hey,
comparing
you're
yourself
close.
to
You're
him.
close.
I think you're
So-
crazy,
My name
but
was-
that's why.
See,
So
You
all
wanna
the
bet
other
on it?
people
You
are
wanna bet on
stupid.
it?
I would bet that you're completely
Sure, I'll
wrong.
bet. See,
you come
I
up
know.
to that, $100.
How about $1 million?
How about $1 million? Yeah,
How about $1 million?
No,
Because
I will.
I wouldn't bet that.
We'll both put
there's a
down
man online.
500,000.
His name is James Randi. Are you familiar with James Randi?
Yeah, but he wouldn't even look at my
He wouldn't have it. Did you submit an application?
R.A.
No, submit to James Randi.
did you
He
submit an
does-
Not give
application?
me a chance to speak, man.
Well, you're saying he doesn't want to listen to
That's
you.
define matter. That's what I asked you.
Why don't you define it?
You
Yeah, I'll
define
define
it.
it.
Sure.
You can't do it. Matter is condensed light organized into
So,
pyramids.
do you have
Condensed
do you
light.
have physics credentials?
What's this got to do? I'm a brain. I was a chemist, assistant chemist.
Really?
chemist.
Where did you go to school?
I went to New York City high school.
High school. Where'd you go to college?
Well, I spent a couple of years up in
Where'd you go to college?
New
What
York
school?
University,
Where?
up town.
Do you have a bachelor's degree?
No.
Okay.
quit. I
So
don't
you
want-
don't have a
That what's
PhD.
got to do it?
Because there are experts in the field.
You got knowledge. You got 10 times more knowledge. You don't have an imagination.
I certainly do have an imagination.
You don't have it. Then,
What?
Then define matter. You
Define matter?
I just defined it.
Well, why do you want me
Now,
to define
this was
it?
known.
Well, you're making an argument. And you want us to define terms.
Yeah,
so if
yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
make an argument, you have to define
life.
terms.
Define life.
Define life. It's a very ambiguous term, right?
No, it isn't.
It's.
It's a specific.
How would you
definition
define life then?
of life. See, well, I just told you what matter is. Matter is condensed light organized.
But
into
it's
pyramids.
not light.
So it's got to be light. What's
Why
the
does it
Bible
have
say?
to be light?
What does the Bible say?
What does the Bible
God,
say?
don't even-
How do we know the Bible's true?
How do you know it's true?
How do you know it's true?
Because my theory about the pyramids is true.
The pyramids.
You were given this knowledge.
What do pyramids have to do with the Bible?
You guys are.
There are no
You don't
pyramids
know
in the
it. You're
Bible.
earthlings. You're dumb.
Well,
you,
for-
I asked you,
what-
Are you? Do you
I-
say
you
you're
know-
an alien? Is
I
that
asked
your
two
claim?
questions. I asked you, what is matter? You couldn't answer. What is life?
You want to
couldn't
make an
answer.
argument, but you have to define the terms if you
I
want to
did.
make it.
I defined
Okay,
that.
light. But what evidence do we have to think that matter is light?
Life is a pyramidal projection of light consisting of 12 pyramids of body and 12 pyramids of soul.
12 pyramids of body. What does
The
that
body.
mean?
You made it. It's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
How
A lot of
12?
stuff's on the internet.
Yeah. How? See, you got a big mouth, but you don't know anything.
Well,
You're an earthling. You're an earthling. You're
I'm
an
an
So
earthling.
are you.
Right.
So are you.
I didn't say I'm an earthling.
well, then what are you then?
Figure it out. You know it.
How do you
You're
have
earthling.
12 pyramids? What are
It's in
these
the book.
pyramids?
My theory's in the book over here. Guy, he went to Olyphant and investigated.
He went. Okay, and what were the findings?
He put it in the books.
How do we know?
It's controversial. It's because remember you're
Okay.
earthlings.
Right.
Your knowledge.
Where are
your
you
imagine-
from? What planet do you come from?
You got to figure it out.
You tell me. You're the one claiming.
If you're making a claim, so the evidence is for.
Yeah, you have to
The
establish the
church is
claim.
an owl. You heard about the churches in Olyphant. They formed the constellation of Orion.
The constellation of Orion and Olyphant.
Yeah, the church is an Olyphant. There's a sphinx. You know what a sphinx is?
Yes.
There's a sphinx in Olyphant 5 miles long.
A sphinx and Olyphant.
5 miles long.
A
Guys
sphinx
went-
is a mythological creature.
But there's a sphinx and Olyphant in 5 miles long.
How do we know that?
I got pictures. We got pictures.
Pictures?
From,
People have pictures of
from
ghosts.
satellites. From satellites.
Satellite images. So all you would have to
Okay,
do.
you know what the sphinx and Olyphant is?
Where is it?
It's the bird itself. You take you get a contour map, trace the bird out, and it's a giant sphinx. I won so many bets on that. You
Okay,
couldn't lose.
so here's what happens though.
Churches
Because
from Orion. There's a sphinx.
And what is the
Because-
message? What is the overall point?
Who
of all
created Olyphant? They didn't know about it.
created.
Yeah, they do. They
Well,
built
okay, so
Olyphant.
we have a naturalistic explanation for why Olyphant exists.
What does
Because-
Olyphant mean?
What does it mean? I'm not really sure what it
Secret of
means.
God.
Secret of
the gods. OLY.
Okay, so-
high, lofty, all knowledge, sublime, as all knowledge.
So where does
as a
God
mountain
come- where
of
does
the
God
secret
come
home
into
to
this?
God. PHANT is a phantom, ghost, spirit.
Phantom ghost spirit.
Because one of the secrets are
we have a lot of people.
Don't die. You live forever.
What?
You don't die.
We're all gonna die.
No, but you have a soul.
A soul? How do we know we have a soul?
Yeah,
Well,
look at him turning around.
see, science though
I get
tells us
100,000 hits a day.
that when we get brain damage, that our personality is completely altered. So if our personality is in our soul, how could brain damage affect the soul?
Oh yeah.
Well, the brain is part of the body.
So where's the soul?
The soul is separate from the body.
Separate from the body.
Yeah,
How can something separate from the body affect the body?
It's on the internet.
But how could something outside of the body affect the body?
Why do Christians worship the Holy Trinity?
Because they believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy
Yeah,
Spirit.
but why? That's not the answer.
It's dogma.
No, dogma. That's not the answer. Because it forms a trinity, a triangle, or a pyramid.
Okay, but a pyramid isn't a triangle.
You take four. Yeah, let me explain. You take four trinities.
Four trinities.
Two for the body, two for the soul, a man, of course.
How does that prove anything?
It appears in fact, in Arizona University,
all you're doing is adding numbers. And you're saying that they're supernatural.
Arizona University scientists discovered the same thing I did, but 20 years later.
So why don't they put the findings out?
They don't want to do it. They
don't want to do
everything
it.
Censored.
Well, see, I can do that too and say that I have evidence of aliens, but people just don't want to hear me.
Yeah,
right.
I know that's exactly that's true. That's true.
But that's not what's happening because the scientific community,
scientific world doesn't like new ideas.
If you found one person,
okay, I told you it took 150 years for people to agree with 150 years. You're still in the same.
But see, we can look at the ideas.
I'm going to funny.
But the problem is that a lot of scientists would love to win the Nobel Prize. So if you put the information out there, they would go public with this to be famous and win the money. James Randi has the $1 million challenge.
It's out there now. I get 100,000.
So why haven't you won? Okay,
because people are afraid of new ideas.
So what about 100,000 hits?
Religion.
That doesn't mean it's true. Just because a lot of people follow it.
I told you. I can prove it's true. I got Einstein's unified field theory. The reason he never discovered the unified field theory because he didn't know that everything was a pyramid.
So how do you know more than Einstein?
It's all planned.
It's all planned.
I was chosen.
You were chosen.
It's all planned. It's all everything's planned. All major events are planned.
Who chose you?
Gods. They control your
gods.
world.
I thought you said there's only one God.
Yeah, but there's always
so the Bible's wrong.
No, there's one, some superior God over.
But God said He's the only God.
Christ. No.
What?
In the Bible it says don't have any gods before me.
Right.
That means there's other gods.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean there are other gods. It means that other people worship different gods and say that you shouldn't.
There's a God for every planet.
A God for every planet.
Every universe.
Every universe.
Yeah.
How do we know that?
Well, that's what He says. You know what I mean? It's. Okay, I can't prove everything, but I can prove that Einstein. You ever heard the inverse square laws?
The what?
Inverse square laws.
Inverse square laws. I've briefly heard.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Newton's.
I'm not a physicist.
Newton's law of gravitation was an inverse square law. The further it goes away from somebody, it reduces its intensity by a square.
You're trying to use science to prove the supernatural, but science operates under methodological naturalism.
No, because
do you want me to sign? I would sign chapter 2.
The inverse square laws. Electronics and magnetism, light.
Magnetism.
They all when you draw it at the
how do they work? How do magnets work? Can you tell me how magnets work? Is it a miracle?
Okay, hold on. When you draw out the inverse square laws, that's the physics laws. What do you get? What do you get?
I'm not a physicist. I don't know.
So you don't know.
How do magnets
you get
work?
A pyramid.
How do magnets work?
Yeah, you get a pyramid. Huh?
How do magnets work?
Well, magnetic charge.
Is it a miracle?
Poles, like poles repel, unlike poles attract.
So how does that prove God?
Huh?
How does that prove God?
Because the whole universe is made out of electromagnetism.
It's made out of electromagnetism?
Yeah,
it's force.
Electrical force and magnetic force.
But things aren't made out of forces. Forces affect things. Are things made of gravity?
When you draw out the inverse square laws, they form a pyramid, man.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything.
Sure it does.
I can draw them and make. I can make a rectangle.
You knew that.
I can make a rectangle.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're an earthling, man.
An earthling.
Yeah, you don't know that.
All right, have a good day. Thanks.
I asked you several questions. You didn't know anything.
Well, if you want to propose an argument, you have to define terms. Not me.
You just had too many questions and you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not the one to define terms if I'm making the argument. If you're making the argument.
Yeah.
Any afterthoughts?
Fucking magnets, how do they work?